Well, this weekend, Jason, of course, will be participating in the first of 2 walks in the battle against Alzheimer's disease, and I know this one's really personal.
Yeah, this one touches me. That's right. My grandfather suffered from Alzheimer's disease, and his story inspired me to take action against this terrible illness, and I hope it'll do the same for you.
If they don't find my father this weekend, I'll spend the rest of my life looking for him.
It was a cold day in January 1987. My grandfather, Charlie Iannuzzo, was a retired grocer beloved by so many in the Massachusetts town of Lowell. At age 78, he was in the middle of a 6-year battle with Alzheimer's. His body was strong, but his mind was deteriorating, which is why on this day, Charlie's decision to leave the house and go for a walk changed my family forever.
The waiting is hell for the close-knit family of 78-year-old Charlie Iannuzzo. Divers searched the Lowell Canal. Volunteers searched the streets and alleys near Charlie's South End home. Nothing.
This is as much the story of the heart of a city as it is of one man's affliction and disappearance.
I didn't think he was going to go far. No way. I thought he would come back very, very soon, but he hasn't come back. This is his 3rd day, so please, God, let's find him.
An early start for an Army helicopter, adding to the search party.
3 days missing grew to 5, then 7 days without a trace. The outlook was looking more grim, and by the 10th day, hundreds of people, many who didn't even know my grandfather, joined the search, including the National Guard. And that's when we learned Charlie's stroll through the town streets was the last walk he would ever take.
78-year-old Charlie Iannuzzo is found dead after he was reported missing for more than a week.
Charles Iannuzzo was found dead on a vacant lot just after 4 o'clock this afternoon in the Pawtucket.
I was only 8 years old when this tragedy hit my family, but from this point in my life, Alzheimer's disease was etched in my heart. And now it's my goal to fight this heartbreaking disease by drawing attention to it, just like my grandmother said 25 years ago.
Hope that maybe this was God's way of getting a little more attention of Alzheimer patients, which I find is a very difficult situation.
It really is. I would love it if you could join me at either of the walks to end Alzheimer's being held. One walk is this weekend in Coral Gables. The other is next weekend in Hollywood. You can log on to Local 10. We have all the details in our Hot Happenings section under the Only in South Florida tab.
Oh, what a beautiful tribute to your grandfather and your whole family to go out and do that. So hopefully lots of people come out. And I suspect back then people didn't really understand Alzheimer's disease as well as they do today.
That's a great point. I mean, it was almost people tried to look past it. It was, you know, people were ashamed of it. They were not wanting to admit it. It was part of old age. And now the point is to get it across, get people talking about it. And it happens so young these days. I mean, he was 78, but it happens at 40, 45 years old.
We've done stories about that. So, all right, well, get out there and walk for a good cause.